Almost. Hello.
Well, everybody, here we are back again. It's been a while since we checked in at Spaceship One, WholEarth, right? I hope you're doing well. There's a lot to cover, a lot to unpack on this day of for me. It's going to be. This is a monumental day. This is the beginning of an astronomical situation. I have been working on a project to help people find ways to make money using advertising, which is it's just like one of the perfect things. If I can get this thing going, and if we can get into advertising, we can provide, money, because advertising is something everyone needs when they need to sell something. And so direct sales is just, the numbers are in. It's a science. It's not a probability anymore. It's a full science. And here comes Damon just walking in at the perfect time. You never know. See, now I wouldn't trust anybody else sitting next to me, but Damon's probably a good check on my ideas here. But you have to sit back, okay? Or over there, whatever. Anyhow.
Well, if you want me to say hello.
All right. Well, come on in and say hello. Quick.
Yeah.
Get in here. I'm on a train of thought here. We're trying to do some work here. Okay, good. Okay, I got an audience of one. So gather around, get your snacks. Here we are. We're going to go into big time. So let's start to unpack. Remember that why are we here? We have a purpose. The reason that you made it to this particular event today. Now, I think we're on. Is that actually the Mayan calendar date? Is that the actual Mayan calendar date, or did I change it from last? We could check on that. I don't remember changing it, but okay. So that just brings us to a galactic. All of a sudden, we went from here to a galactic mode, and now we're part of the, this like global calendar from an ancient time. And look at the numbers. You see, the numbers past 13.0000 are what you might call extra days. So we're all in this together. You see, we've already moved into the next ascension, and that's the age of Aquarius. Now we're 12.9.17 areas into the age of Aquarius. But I think we're going to change that up, right? We're going to change that up. Let's go to the Mayan. If we check with today's Mayan date, we can find out what the real date is, and then we can talk about that. Is that the number? Thanks for.
I'm gonna double check it.
Okay, let's check it. Because the real number, I'm a numbers guy. Because of this calendar, I want to know what the numbers are. I mean, I think they're going to be amazing. Because what I'm talking about is bike drawn advertising, which is an idea that I've been working on for years, and it's about taking electric bikes and electric billboards, basically LED billboards, and letting people make money to go ride a bike in areas that are high trafficked areas. And it becomes like a stream of capital coming in, much like an Uber app. So that when you check in and you're plugged in and you're actually in your bike, you probably connect. There's something that's going to make it verifiable that you're with your bike. And that's how you're going to be able to get paid. So you start by if you're just with your bike and you don't want to do anything, you can sit outside, stick your bike in your front yard, stick your sign in your front yard, and just turn it on and sit back and make money. Why not? It's that easy. See, now everybody then becomes a wage earner. Everybody becomes somehow contributing to the community. And as a news cyclist, see, you become part of the news cycle. Oh, isn't that great? You become a news cyclist for the LA Times. Wouldn't that be great? Look, 13.0.12.15.9 is the galactic date that we are on the long count of this particular calendar. Now, remember, this calendar resets every 26,000 years. So in 26,000 years more, we'll go back to start with 0.0.0.0.0.0. And let's see what happens next. If you stay with me, we're going to get to see what happens next. Now, remember, I want to also plug my own work, because about a year ago when I met Renee, the first thing that we decided to work on together was the Declaration of Human Sovereignty And on my birthday, on my 65th birthday, my 64th birthday, I presented to you basically the Declaration of Human Sovereignty, which gives you the right to your body in what was given to you is yours to manage or not. Okay, you know, if you go and look at my little picture there, you are a combination of the first three things, okay? Your stuff combined with earth and water in a mycelial design model. Mycelial will be something like the way you see the web or the wings of a butterfly, the way you see the wings of a dragonfly. That's mycelial. Okay, it's kind of got a pattern, but it's got this odd, you know, kind of more rounded triangular shapes, and the same pattern can be seen at the ancient megalithic architectural structures using massive bits of stone. Okay. Then so we have human sovereignty, which gives us the right to enjoy the body that was given to us to have this experience. So we're having an experience on planet Earth. Everyone is. Oh my goodness. Everyone's having an experience at the same time. Just remember, if you're watching this, you are in the right place. Stay with us and stay in the positive realm of it, because what we want to do is we want to bring that positivity with us. I'm just saying things you already know about. So please don't listen to me like I'm an authority. Listen to me like I'm just a friend talking. And if you get a chance to go and look at, maybe pick up a copy of my book, you'll see the first the first really understanding of how to play the game, how I see everything as a game. You see, that's the point. Find the toughest thing that you're working on and call it a game. And you switch the brain chemistry from a fight or flight, a fear-based adrenaline, to an adrenaline that helps you finish the next chapter of the game. Because these are games, there's two games that are being taught to us, and it's for us to be able to figure out what the difference is. You know, the wisdom to know the difference at the end of the day will be whether you can figure it out or not. It's not for me. I can't tell you, I can't teach you a thing, but I can help you find ways to teach yourself. I went to some academic places and they taught me how to teach myself. I don't think I impressed anybody, but I wasn't there to impress anybody, but I was able to, capture the end of the thing, the participation certificate, But the point is that that's just the beginning of it. You have to continue to think outside the box. You have to be given, that is the opportunity that we're given with the same. Everybody has the same kit of parts and a brain that is capable of whatever it is given. Now, my feeling is if you give the brain from the beginning clean water, good food, outdoors, and sleep habits, then you can live a happy, long and happy life. Tell me I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong to this point, please feel free to exit the room. I'm sorry I spent some time with you here. But this is a perfect time. Let's restart the game from here next time. Ha! Let's have that 34-second intro right now. It'd be perfect.
getting this messy. We want to prove to the whole world that the impossible dream can happen.
Okay, you're it. Now, if you could identify with any of that opening, I want you to come and hang out with me and be part of this community, okay? I need you. If you already knew what all those maps were, if you knew what that was, I need you to say something in the comment section. Help me out here, okay? Because we need to be hanging out together, okay? This is the thing. Once you see that map, you can't unsee it. I know that for sure. Once you really look at that thing unfolding there, you'll know what I'm talking about when I say Dymaxion map. Can't unlearn that. That's the thing about learning something. It's very difficult to unlearn something. I hope I've shattered your world. Now, this is the thing. I love going and driving around University of California in Santa Barbara because that's my old school. I went there and I got so intimidated by everything. The size of that school was intimidating. The beauty of the school is intimidating. The coolness of the people were intimidating. Everything was sucked. Everything was just like I was starting from scratch. Like I could have stayed maybe in a comfortable East Coast environment and maybe worked by. I couldn't see anybody that I wanted to network with. That was the problem. I needed to get out of there. And when I did, I came to Santa Barbara and I was able to just tread water. I haven't been, it's years and years. But what I see there and what I see still is the campus is a learning tool. The campus, putting a campus inside a bird refuge, inside an airport area that there's not a lot of bird strike in there. For some reason, they have been able to not get the bird strike type of situation at other airports. They probably killed all the birds that flew in that range, but the ones that are flying there are usually sea and coastal and tend to stay away from the interior. And they can, maybe they've taught or adapted, because there are species that adapt. But let's remember that we're the species of the type that is connected to the world. We are in this together. There is no outside of the world. You know this to be true, right? Place to sleep is part of the being in a day-night cycle. Something to eat is part of being alive in a day-night cycle. Something to drink, it's all part of that, That's what we need. This is how we need. The sunlight, without the sunlight, if it was dark all the time, we wouldn't be able to survive either. So we got to have these 5 things. Now, that picture in the middle, that beautiful picture in the middle, it's the coolest thing. Hammer or the nail? What is a hammer? One of the earliest tools any human being ever made was taking a rock, a little heavier than the other thing, and smashing a nut with it. In fact, it was such an easy and such a absolutely prolific and completely, thanks, man, I'm in the middle of something right here. Acorns were the primary food of the entire species of human being, up and down California, all through Oregon, all through Washington. And what happens is you take a rock that's heavier than another rock and you crush the acorn and you get to this meat in the middle, and you can eat the meat in the middle and it can sustain you. And that's what they were doing. Acorns were the number one food. And then what they do is set fires, and they would burn certain areas. I would think ritualistic fires would probably happening. I think that people, sometimes they got out of control. Yikes, they did. But remember that some of the species that are here now were brought here just in the last 300 years. That for 12,700 years, people were living in California next to the water, eating fish that they could find. The piles of shellfish that were connected and taken apart by people and eaten is the evidence that we have that the people were having a good life. This is what we're talking about. The shells itself now. And then turning the shells into valuable beads is a whole fine art that takes hours and hours just to make one bead. And these people were wearing braids of beads to show how much leisure time they could have. It takes a lot of concentration to make a bead, and to make a bead that small. And some of them are microscopic. So very interesting the way we can look at things differently now. Remember that up and down the coast and Pacific coast. But this is to say, look, if it was happening in California, it was happening all through. This idea that somehow North America was empty is about as laughable as saying the sun is not going to come up tomorrow, with the exception of an eclipse or something. The sun is going to continue on. The mechanics of the planet, the way it's working, is going to continue forward. The mechanics of our sun and the mechanics of our solar system is going to move forward. And what we know from that Mayan calendar, which is made in stone, buried under a pyramid to withstand a solar impact that would completely wipe out every living thing. Do you want to go to the fifth dimension real fast? Be vaporized. If you want to go to the fifth dimension real fast, you have to be a victim of this catastrophic terror going on in Gaza today. Think about this for a second from another point of view that has been given to you, handed to you. If they are gift wrapping a narrative, you might want to ask a few questions of your inner self. You might want to check in with some of the, let's see some of the, how some of the more ancient concepts apply to the situation that we find ourselves in right now. Okay, so what it came to me, and this is what came to me when I was studying the Japanese situation, or the horrific actions in China, or the horrific actions, all through. Okay, so there was an interesting graph that I saw recently where Genghis Khan was without question the number 2 most body count individual ever to live on this planet. And his numbers are in the, I don't even know, somewhere between amazing and oh my effing God, and can you really believe anybody could kill that many people? What happened to all their souls? Okay, there you go. And what happened to the Mongol soul? So this is the thing. We don't know. But today, you and I can have a talk about it, and we can say, well, probably without question, we're going to go from this 3-dimensional experience to a 5th-dimensional experience. The question is, do we bring this with us? And I don't think you can. It's like taking this thing is like taking your riches and the camel through an eye of a needle. I think somebody said that. Okay, to do that is not what we want to do. We want to go, back to the source of the light, regenerate, and beg, plead, and borrow for another chance to come back on some type of cockamamie planet like Earth. This is the thing that occurred to me. See, when you have this understanding of who you are as an individual and who you are as a collective person, then you are going to have way more chance to play the game. First of all, you're going to play the WholEarth game. You're going to win the game. You're going to help other people play and win. This is the point. Oh my God. I was watching the, 25 or 40 best goals of the World Cup. Pele has 3 or 4 situations where he gave the ball to the guy who got the, the next one. They put him number 3. But mostly his assists, his beautiful assists, his way to hold the ball, mesmerize everybody. Look at Pele, and hand it to the guy, and he just puts it behind the goalie. It's so simple, like candy from a baby. His, the gift, you have to give more than you get. His assist rate is twice the number of goals that he achieved. And he achieved more soccer goals, like literally more balls in the back of the net than any other human being by a lot. It's going to be hard to break that particular record because he started as a 17-year-old and was already racking up goals as a 16-year-old. So, it's hard to beat that kind of thing. But, Eddie Adu was one of the chosen to get the MLS a little bit of a kickstart. They thought maybe he could be the phenom 15-year-old that could hold it, but he came and went very fast and ended up moving into obscurity pretty quickly. So now what are we talking about? Gaza. The people there are probably strong enough to handle this martyrdom. I mean, you really think that, in a life, in a world of eternal life, in a galaxy of eternal life, in a universe of eternal life, let's keep going. How many universes are there? I mean, with the new technology, we know that there are there's as many universes as there are sand on all the beaches. You think that's a I mean, is that possible? Maybe all the grains of sand on the surface of the beaches in all the world, maybe deep. I don't know. Who can tell, right? But if you decide that it's all the sand in the world and all the stars are connected somehow, then you're involved with the third law of the Hermetic principles, of course, which is correspondence, which means everything is happening at the same exact time. And I'm freezing up. So that's what's happening. Same exact time, and we are probably, but I'm going to reduce this. There we go. Let's take that down.
Okay, you're back.
Well, when we start talking in terms of galactic federation, people start listening in. When we start talking about hope, people start listening in. Let's go to a break. Let's go to a break clip.
Okay, you're muted. Just unmute. All right. Okay, now we can hear you.
If you're one of the very, very few people getting this message, we want to prove to the whole world that the impossible dream can happen.
You're it, and you're
All right,
back.
then. So we're gonna have
Here we are.
Is,
Here we are.
I think we're having some issues with the thunderstorms around the country.
But you look good now, and we can
Yep.
hear and see
Thank you.
you. So, can you hear and see me?
I can see you, and then I put my thing up to maybe save some bandwidth or something.
Okay. All right. Well, excellent. So we were talking about we talked a little bit about the human sovereignty thing, and I put a link to that if people want to watch that show. Do you want to talk a little bit more about human
Well,
sovereignty?
you have to grasp, okay, the fact that you are your own person here now. Like, okay, at one point, if you can figure out that. Now, back to the hammer or the nail. So the question is, are you the hammer or the nail? The fact that you can even imagine the fact that you are a hammer. Can we pretend? Let's pretend we're a hammer and we're beating our head against the wall on any particular subject, right? And then let's pretend there's a nail there and it's driving a nail right through our forehead, right? And that's called a headache, right? Or something like this. Okay, that's called imagination. In the imaginal world, we can do anything we want, right? You know this to be true, right? Come on, Renee, get me in here.
Yes, I know this to be true. Yes, I was muted. Sorry. Yes, of course.
Okay, well, I mean, look, you have a fantastic. Okay, we're doing this thing. Let's just be in this together. Since we're going to be two talking avatars, let's go in. Okay?
All right, let's do it.
Now, look, if you want to call this ASMR, you can fall asleep to it too. I mean, it's really going to be boring. We're going to be talking about some big ideas here, but we're going to try to do it without taking up a lot of bandwidth. Okay, you've seen what we look like. We look amazing, don't we?
We're glamorous and gorgeous, of course.
And then, Renee should be in bed now. She'd be tucked into bed. I'm making her stay up way late past her bedtime. So,
yeah, but it's worth it. It's worth it because we got a message, right? So what we're doing is, okay, let me do a setup again, too, of what we talked
set
about.
up again, because you're awesome at this, because we're going to be taking this live and on the road, because this is the way I'm expressing it to you. But I've spent time with Carrie Harrison earlier, and we got some big news. So,
yes, very big news. We love Carrie Harrison from KPFK. And he's fantastic. And he also helped with the human sovereignty. And what we're talking about is that there's so many global catastrophes going on, from Sudan to the West Bank to Ukraine, Russia, of course, Gaza Strip, and right here in America as well. And what people are saying is, what can we do? What can we do? They feel helpless and hopeless. You have the game. You also have provided the Hermetic principles. You have some practical application for how we can make the world a more tolerable, peaceful, pleasant place.
Well, that's the thing. So we've got to look away when anything is gift wrapped. When any type of argument is gift wrapped, like we're getting gift wrapped right now, we got to be suspicious. The question is, to what end? Now, what Gavin Newsom is doing here in the United States is he's putting things to the people, which is exactly the way it's supposed to be. So now we're going to it's time to unfurl the voice of the actual people, and not this complete lie factory that goes on with Goofball and his minions. Okay? So, I mean, he's the cause of a lot of this situation, because had another person been in the White House, maybe a female with a little bit of conscience, maybe we'd be able to help the Gazans fight the battle for their supremacy there, or their sovereignty there. Okay, this is the point. I mean, any of these people would have just the same amount of fight if somebody came in and invaded them. And now, okay, so Hamas started this thing now. And then you got to wonder, I mean, this is at the end of a whole long list of 9/11 style events that turn out to be completely orchestrated by these people who want to be in charge. Are you following me?
Yes.
Does anybody follow me? I need you to chime in and help me get some likes. I need, to get 2,000 or 2,500 likes, we get a small red plaque from YouTube, right? But I think if I get 5,000 likes and 5,000 subscribers, I get another color arrow.
Yes, which is very exciting.
Here, we're going for some big cheese, but
yeah, we got to go for the big cheese.
We're going to be taking the LA Times. If we can continue this dream forward, now it might crash. It's going to probably crash. We're going to be ready for the big, it's never going to work story, right? But we're also going to be like, it's always going to work. The universe does not understand lack. The universe only wins. The only goes forward. It can never go backward. You see what I mean? The universe only goes that way. Do you see that?
Yeah. Absolutely.
What is the way? What is that way?
There is one way.
There's only one way. What is that way? The way is eternal. The way is without name. The way is the best. It's the best of everything going to the best of everything. Okay, so that's got to be somewhere located in the fifth dimension.
And how many dimensions are there again?
Well, I don't know. When was the last time you had an ayahuasca ceremony?
Well, I haven't, so that's why I don't know how many dimensions.
Well, anyway, that's none of my business. You see, this is none of my business how you achieve your connection with the Holy Spirit. Okay? But here again, now I'm going for the whole enchilada. I want to see South Park do a thing where the barefoot Pope, you know what's going on in the Vatican, right?
No.
The Pope is
But I
walking
know
around.
what's going on with South Park. I saw the South
No,
Park
this is
with
a real
Donald
story.
Trump.
Okay, this is a real story. I'm going to give it to. I hope South Park picks it up. Maybe they'll pick it up from my black cat here, because my black cat is way better looking than me. I'll tell you that. I'm pretty good looking though, but the cat is killing it right there. I love that cat. Okay, so the Pope is walking around in bare feet. The Pope is walking around in bare feet, and you know what he's talking about? He's talking about the billions of dollars in the Vatican bank. And then he was asking a question like, are there still hungry people, poor people, sick people? Isn't that what Christ taught? Okay, this is what I mean. Can you imagine if a pope actually followed the rules of what Christ taught on the Mount? I can. That's what's going to
Yeah,
happen.
of course. That's how it should be.
Kidding that the farthest thing from reality is going to happen. I'm saying it right here. And then what happens is we move into the Jubilee, and then everybody gets a place to stay tonight and some food to eat and everything. And then we go through that, and everybody gets a little bit of money, because if you need some money to grease it up, because we're used to money, so you get a card, with enough money that you can actually live. Okay, it starts with like I don't know. There's a number about. Now this moves forward. Now this is a KPFK kind of far out thinking audience that might be tuning into this thing right now. I hope you're going to pick this thing up, okay? But we're going to be bringing this to another new audience. And the point is that there is plenty if we organize the thing from the beginning to make plenty for everyone. If we organize it so that only 1% get the money, then we have billionaires. Now, this is the interesting thing, is because billionaires seem to own these big newspapers, and we want to use the big newspapers to run our business. So it's going to be interesting to see how we can get through this little puzzle. But the idea is that we can provide, because advertising really doesn't have any sides. It's just giving information so people can make good decisions, right? With enough good information, like, look, what we need to do from schools anyway is to learn to count and learn how to read. Am I right? Renee, what do you do at school?
Yeah, of course. You have to learn how to read, write, and then critical thinking, comprehension, rhetoric, things like that.
See, so that you can go ahead and make an argument, so you can go ahead and find out. So you're teaching yourself. When you go to these schools, they teach you how to teach yourself. You are your
Right.
own teacher. No one can go to class for you. You have to show up as Renee, as Becca, and go there and you have to put the time in, right? You have to write the paper. Don't you?
Yeah, you have to put in all the effort yourself. You're teaching yourself.
Now, what if you spent all your time not going to class? What if your primary focus was to not go to class? What would you think you'd learn from that experience?
Well, you wouldn't learn anything if you don't put in the work or the time.
Okay, this is what our guy Trump did. And this is what our guy. Now, I got to give you Elon Musk a bonus, because he put himself through school at Toyota. And he and Toyota have a very deep relationship. They probably had, they have kids together, man. No question about it. One of his kids is a Japanese kid from the Toyota family. If you look at that pretty deep, I don't think you have to go that deep to find that connection. It might be two of the daughters. All right, because that he spent time there, right? The first financing came from Toyota to build the plant in Texas, right?
Yeah.
You knew that. You knew that already.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that, right?
Yep. I think so.
They had the feud, okay? So they had the little feud, like the publicity feud, like somebody's going hydrogen, somebody wants to go electric. What are we going to do? So Musk decides to go full electric to expand out. And then basically that's what we got is a lot of fucking charging stations. But charging stations by themselves are fucking ugly, nasty places you don't want to be hanging out at. That was the problem. This is the problem. You're asking people who never associate with anybody to bring their car down to associate with anybody. How
Yeah, and that's
stupid is
that, and
that?
that's difficult. That's difficult to do,
That's
actually.
stupid. But
Yeah, it's
now,
not
had we
easy.
gone to
Yeah.
hydrogen, each one of those little power plants would have been having a bubble of hydrogen. All you got to do is pop the hydrogen into the trunk and you just, put one pill in for the next, man. It's so simple. It doesn't even, hydrogen would have been way better. Okay, so we went along the wrong way again. I mean, you just keep going backwards from there, and you can see, endless cases of how we did things the wrong way over and over again, just because it was more profitable for 1% of the people, not for the 99%. Right now, I'm in Santa Barbara. I'm driving around Santa Barbara, so I'm able to see firsthand the results of the last Gilded Age legacy. Okay, so what it is, it's magnificent, some really magnificent, great estates, and then we get this huge effing convention center that was the dream of one guy who had to have the big effing convention center. He wanted to have his name on this big effing convention center, only to be sold out to the Hilton by his kids after he died. Fess Parker, man, wanted his name on that thing, and he doesn't get a monument to himself at all. No, doesn't give a fuck. Santa Barbara says that's pretty much Santa Barbara's attitude. Bring all that. He brought this huge convention center, and he got no thanks at all. None. In fact, he's resented because he made the whole city move in another direction we didn't want to go into. So they were kicking and screaming into that direction. So that's another long story. But here we are back to this week. Okay, last week, this catastrophic things are happening. Are you kidding? We are losing our democracy by the minute. But this is the thing. You don't need much more than a few powerful words by competent grown-ups, and then there's hope again. And by golly, Gavin Newsom has taken up the charge. But you know what? He comes armed, man. He brings receipts, right? What do you know about California, Renee? Tell me real quick, what do you think about us?
Well, I know that there's a lot of Republicans. I know, so there's a fissure where there's a lot of liberals and then a lot of Republicans, and some Republicans want to break off and that type of thing. I know that Newsom is trying to probably run for president, and wildfires, right? We think about wildfires a lot when we hear about California.
Okay. Well, that's all happening because everything's happening at the same time. So, Newsom is going into this. I thought this was tit for tat kind of thing, is a very scripted kind of a response to the whole situation anyway, but somebody's got to do it. And now we do have the fourth largest economy, and California can literally cleave off of the entire United States and not really lose any sleep at all. In fact, we would just go continue with our liberal ways and make sure everybody gets a little piece of the pie. If we throw out some UBC, which is what Howard Yang or Andrew Yang wants to do, and throw out let's put some money back in the people. Remember, we're talking about this NESARA law, okay, too, which is really something that's been nagging around. It's like the lurking unicorn thing. It's about this jubilee that has to happen where we can reset the banking, because right now it's worse. Okay, we used to study this in school where the person brought a wheelbarrow full of money to buy a loaf of bread. Do you remember that picture?
Oh yeah, after the Second World War, right?
During the Second World War. It was before
Yeah,
the first
German marks, the
between the
German
First
marks.
World
Yeah.
War and the Second World War. Okay, you gotta go. Okay, kid, come on, stay with me, baby. Stay with
All
me.
right, both of them. Yes.
History is a bitch, but it's the same. Okay, if you stick with it, it really teaches you. Okay, so there's a beauty. I mean, it's a picture that was steamrolled into our heads. You know, that was a woman with a wheelbarrow full of whatever looks like money, and it says all to buy a loaf of bread. Okay, are you with me?
Yep, and that's what's going on in Gaza right now as well. To buy a
No,
loaf of
hold
bread,
on.
like it's like
No, hold on. No, you're
$100.
smart as
Yeah,
a whip. You are smart. See, you're smart as a whip. You're way ahead.
thank you.
Yeah, because here's the thing: is that not one wheelbarrow today. It's fucking like 100 wheelbarrows full of money to buy that fucking loaf of bread. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Okay, and then how many lives does it cost to get a loaf of bread? That's the real question. But I mean, okay, so what can we do? Only thing we can say is that God has a purpose, and these people have the audacity or the fortitude to take the hit and come back swinging at one point. I mean, literally, everybody, what doesn't, what kills us makes us martyrs. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. I mean, come on. I mean, I guess that's what it is, right? Honestly, if you throw your life in the whole, faith, then you know that there's no wrong way to play the game. You can just play the best you can, bring the best with you. Most of those people that are dying in Gaza are just fantastic people. You would love them, every single one of them. Every single person, I would say, except that one. There's always Uncle Mo or something. There's always Joe Schmo over there that just didn't, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But even he's forgiven, because that's the one you really got to forgive. That's the most one. Like, if you have to forgive that person, and then forgive yourself for not forgiving them first. You had to talk yourself into forgiving them. Am I right? Stick with me,
Yeah,
Renee.
absolutely. Yeah, we are. I'm looking for the photo of the wheelbarrow and the lady. If I find it,
Oh,
I'll
you
let
poor
you know.
thing. Your probably head's on a pillow.
No, I'm trying to find it. I thought it was Germany, but it might not be Germany.
Germany
I'll find
after
it.
World War One, okay, because they went into super
Yeah,
hyperinflation.
maybe it wasn't World War II then.
No, yeah,
Okay, so I'll
because that's
find
when
it.
Hitler came to power. Because Hitler came to power based on it was a horrible time, because the world punished the people of Germany for the German for the whole arms thing.
Yeah.
So, but this is what's happening with Hamas. So Hamas set the fire, and then we can go in, because, and this is, you remember my can you put the link of one of my early posts with John Trudell talking about the entire situation? Every word that he says in that speech has come to pass and is coming.
Yeah. Let me find that. I love that one. I love that one.
I don't know how your time is, and I think that we're good. I'm good until 8 o'clock or so, but I know it's getting late for you. So,
Yeah, no, keep talking. I'm gonna find the John Trudell thing because I think that's a
and then are we
beautiful.
live on TikTok? Do we have any people checking in? Is there anything?
Yeah, we do. But there's usually like a delay because they answer something. It takes them a minute or two, and then we've moved on. But if you want me to go down some of those too, I will in just 1 second. I'm gonna
Well, if you can see any
find the.
trends, I would love to see if there's a trend that we can follow. But here,
Yeah, well, yeah.
hold on. Before we do that, before we relinquish
Okay.
the mic here, we get the
Yeah,
mic.
yeah. Stay on the mic because once we go down the comments.
Adam Mockler is just killing it right now. He's a young kid, and he's going all up and down. And then we're getting this whole idea of these votes were not counted properly. We got hosed. And then the last election was a 9/11 event, man. And we swallowed it, hook, line, and sinker, like we have been. I mean, this whole thing. Then it starts to look like Gaza, and the whole thing is another 9/11 setup job. Okay, it's an inside job made to look like an outside job, so that it'll do exactly the thing that they need to do. So we could run off to Kuwait. We ran off to Kuwait after 9/11 and had a big war in Kuwait. Am I right? I mean, maybe I got my timeline. We ran up to some kind of war.
I think it was. And I found the John Trudell thing, so I'm going to put the link here so that people can click on it if they want to.
Let's hear a little bit of that. Like,
Okay, let's hear a little bit. Yeah,
we'll
this is beautiful.
This is great,
Yeah.
right? Good stuff. We can talk over it. I love this whole thing.
So good. Do you want to stay on screen for it, or do you want to go backstage?
We're faced with a very serious situation in this generation. There are insane people who wish to rule the world. They wish to continue to rule the world on violence and repression. And we are all the victims of that violence and repression. We, as the indigenous people of the Western Hemisphere, have been resisting this violence and this oppression for 500 years. We know that the black people have been resisting it for at least that long. And we know that the white people have had to endure it thousands of years. And now it's come full swing to this generation that we live in. Nuclearization of the world. You see, this cannot be, we cannot allow this to continue to go on. We cannot do it. See, and we cannot expect that the pro-nuclear oppressor, that other side, we cannot expect that they're going to change for us. They are going to become more brutal. They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power. We have to reestablish our identity. We have to understand who we are and where we fit in the natural order of the world, because our oppressor deals in illusions. They tell us that it is power, but it is not power. They may have all the guns and they may have all the racist laws and judges and they may control all the money, but that is not power. These are imitations of power, and they are only power because in our minds we allow it to be power. But it's all an imitation. Racism and violence, racism and guns, economics, the brutality of the American corporate state way of life is nothing more than violence and repression, and it has nothing to do with power. It is brutality. It is a lack of a sane, it's a lack of a sane balance. The people who have created this system and they perpetuate this system, they are out of balance. They have made us out of balance. They have come into our minds and they've come into our hearts and they've programmed us because we live in this society, and they've put us out of balance. And because we are out of balance, we no longer have the power to deal with them. They have conquered us as a natural power. See, we are power. They deal in violence and repression. We are power. We are a part of the natural world. All of the things of the natural world are a natural part of the creation and feed off the energy of our sacred Mother Earth. We are power, but they have separated us from our spiritual connection to the earth, so people feel powerless. We look at the oppressor and we look at the enemy because they have the most guns and the most lies and the most money. People start to feel powerless. We are power. We are a natural part of the creation. We were put here on the sacred Mother Earth to serve a purpose. And somewhere in the history of people, we're forgetting what the purpose is. The purpose is to honor the earth. The purpose is to protect the earth. The purpose is to live in balance with the earth. The earth is our mother. And we will never free ourselves as human people. We will never free ourselves as sexual people. We will never free ourselves until we address the issue of how we live in balance with the earth. Because all of our resistance and all of our struggle is hollow, it's false. It's another one of those oppressors' hypocrisies. If we do not look out for the welfare of the earth first, because I do not care who it is, any child that turns on their mother is living in a terrible, terrible confusion. The earth is our mother. We must take care of the earth. They pollute. This oppressor, this machine that has gone mad and run amok, it is berserk. They keep telling us, progress. They keep telling us face reality. Well, let's deal with reality. Reality is the earth can no longer take this attack. We can no longer allow this thing to continue where it's polluting the air. It's polluting the water, polluting our food. They pollute the air, they pollute the water, they pollute our food, they pollute our minds. They put us out of balance. They have made us be insecure with ourselves. They have put us into a situation where we have to play many roles. We got to be chauvinist, or we got to be on some kind of a class trip or some kind of an illusionary power trip. We got to play a role. See, we got to play a role to communicate with other people. We got to go through this charade because they have attacked our self-confidence. They have attacked our self-confidence, and they have made us to listen to them. They have made us to believe that they are power, but they are not. They are violent and they are brutal, but they are not power. We are a natural part of the earth. As a natural part of the earth, We have the energy and the power that is the earth. The earth will take care of us if we will remember the earth in more than just our words. If we will remember the earth in our way of life. We are all here to play a role, and all of the animals and all of the life on the earth is playing its proper role except the human people. Somehow we are betraying our purpose here, and that is why we live in the confusion that we live in. They tell us, they want us to believe that we are powerless. We are a natural part of the earth. We are an extension of that natural energy which is spirit and which is power. Power. A blizzard is power. An earthquake is power. A tornado is power.
Power. Am I right? Come on, help me out here. Everybody needs to help us.
Yes.
If we just get it, many hands make light work. This is the thing.
Mhm.
Everybody just needs to do one small thing each day.
Yeah.
First, for yourself. Right? Look around and be grateful. Just breathe the air. But, we want to know when Renee's coming to California so we can give her the full treatment.
The full experience.
Anyway, everybody's
And
welcome to come. There's plenty of room where this is. You'll find a place. We are going to come with some new plans to create low-cost, affordable housing. And that's coming next, that'll be coming next. There's a Jubilee coming. At one point, it's going to be coming. We cannot continue to sustain this. Remember that we have to rebuild all of the services that were taken from us by those last 100 and some odd days. We've got to go and we've got to make sure that we're getting our money's worth at the voting polls, right? And California is going to do this thing, and then it's going to set off a mousetrap. Oh, did you get that thing I sent you? Of the mouse traps. Can we see that little clip?
Oh, the mouse traps. Okay, hold on. Let me go get it.
Do a cut of it. It's like just the ones where that thing starts blowing up. You wait and see this thing. Check this out. If you can get to it, that'd be great. This is what just happened, okay? I got to show you this. When you see this thing, you cannot unsee it. So you might want to step away or look at someplace else. Or if you like it, give me a share, give me an up thumb, do something that I can use to get my numbers up, okay? You have it queued up yet? Yeah, check it out. Check this out. That's it. Can you go back a little bit? Let's go back. Let's bring it. Try from the beginning. Maybe I didn't do it. Anyway. Get the point. Watch this thing. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. Oh man. So
It's really crazy.
When you do this kind of thing, now you can't undo, like you cannot reset those traps. So that's called ringing the bell, right? You can't unring the bell. I love that. There was a great one, ringing my bell. And there's a couple other ones. Oh, do you know about the band called, does everybody know about this band? It's called Mother Hips. Everybody knows Mother Hips, right?
I don't know what that is. You got to tell me.
Oh, if you go to Mother Hips and the Shape of the Bell, I think it's called. Sound of the Bell. You should put that out. Let's put that up and give them a prop too, because maybe that will help our numbers come up. Mother Hips. Oh yeah. And it's called The Sound of the Bell.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh, the mother. Okay, Shape of the Bell.
Shape of the Bell. Yeah, check this out. Give me a couple of notes. Not enough to get cut off. Just give me like 30 seconds.
Yeah. Let's be careful about that. I'll just play a little bit. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Takes a second to put it on.
It's great. The first couple of notes are great. Okay, stop it. Cool. Now, if you want more of that, it'll be in the comment section or something. Renee can put that link up there.
Yeah, I'll put it in there. Yeah.
Go take a look at that.
Very cool. I love that. That sounds really good.
I'm just pretending like we know what we're doing, Renee, because I know you know what you're doing. It's just me.
We do. Yeah, we already have. So there's going to be like 3 people who are looking in the YouTube version of it, they're going to see 3 different clips: the human sovereignty, the mother hips, and and John Trudell speaks. If somebody wants
John
to go
Trudell
back and
speaks is
watch
so
that.
important, okay, because he really maps it out. Like, this is the thing. We are the power. We are the power.
Right.
So the power
Yeah.
starts inside. It's an inside job, okay?
Mhm.
The folks
Yep.
that are getting massacred are going to be okay. Remember this. They are definitely in a better place. They are not, and nobody gets left out, okay? Everyone is a child of God, right? Now, everyone, if you put back the word the way it was given to us, everyone is a child of good, okay? And good applies to all things equally, and everything is equally good. Am I right, Renee? Or something's
Yeah.
gooder? You know anything that's
Yes.
gooder than the other thing? What's
What's
gooder?
what's gooder? Great. What's gooder is great.
What's greater? What's greater?
Um, Greatest, I
God.
think.
Okay, good. Again,
God. Well, yeah, God is the all good,
because
right?
you
He's
take the
all good.
O out of good, then you make it a dude like God, you know? But that ain't right, okay? No, it's
Mhm.
good. The universe is only good. It just doesn't know any other way. There's only one way because life is where it's flowing from the universe. It's only one way.
Mhm.
Life is only going one way. And it's eternal. What the hell? It's eternal. Like, we're going to go to sleep and we're going to wake up on another project and we won't even know that we were here. Can you remember that shit? What the fuck?
Mhm. Yep.
We have another, like, look, and what we're doing here on Earth puts us up in the high ranks for the next gig. You know what I'm saying? As soon as we close our eyes, we're going to be born again into another situation just like this one. And guess what? We're going to follow the same effing rules. We're going to find these rules and we're going to stick to them like glue because that's what they are. You can't get any other way. There's no other way than the way. What does it say? Can you pull up like the first line of the Tao Te Ching?
Okay, hold on.
You could do it on YouTube, but we could also. I think there's something. It basically says the ways, but you should read it. We should read it just to spell a complete spelling of the idea of that which we are speaking.
Okay, hold on. What's the first line? I'm asking ChatGPT right now. So
Sure.
it says
Sure.
the first line. It says the first line is one of the most famous in all of philosophy.
Right?
In the English translation, it typically reads, "quote The Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name."
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Do you want me
Can you
to
read
read
that?
what ChatGPT says about it,
Can you read it
do you
again just one more time with like? Can you read every word like you're listening to what you're saying?
Yeah, the Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name.
How big is that idea?
Well, it's the biggest.
It's a fucking big idea.
Yeah. Well, it reminds me of God, the name of God cannot be
Wait a
pronounced. That
second. Do you think that just applies to some things, or does it apply to all things?
I don't know. That's a good
What?
question.
Oh no,
I do
no,
not
no,
know.
no, no, no,
What do
no,
you
no,
think?
no.
What do you
Oh,
think?
ah. You're
What
killing
do
me.
you think?
You're killing me, Larry. Oh, Larry, I'm giving and doing gift wrapping this thing, and you're not getting it, baby girl. I love you so much. You just read it. Read that again. What does that say?
So it says, the Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name.
So the idea is eternal.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so are you.
Yep.
You're eternal. I mean,
Yes.
I'm not saying half eternal. I'm not saying just for a little while, like everybody but you. You are the thing without name. You are the eternal Tao. Welcome to the game. You didn't know that? You really? Okay, so now let's have faith. But you really, the first thing that runs in is doubt. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's the other thing is you were not born with fear, shame, guilt, or doubt. And for the longest time, we were Lemurian, and we didn't have any idea what the fuck you would be talking about right now if you brought any of those ideas to the table. We wouldn't know what the fuck you would do with it. We only knew love. What? We only knew love. Why? Because that's the way the universe taught us to be. That's the power that they've tried to take from us, that we are the power. Okay, we are the universe. We are the universe. We're the eternal life in the universe. We're having, obviously, there's some God-like experience, some experience from our maker to have it. Like, I told you this before, I think. I don't know, we talked many times, but imagine yourself as a taste bud on the tongue of God. You try. I mean, that take
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's
fall
really
asleep with
beautiful.
that, okay, if you have trouble
Because
falling.
because in the scripture it says, "Taste and see that the Lord is good."
Well,
So
whatever
that
you
makes
need,
sense.
and you can bring that up pretty fast. That's pretty good. You already had it like implanted, but now you have to live it. So the living part is the faith part. Like, is there a question? No, there's no question. Why would there be a question? Anyway, everything happens for a reason. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Okay, now I gotta go because it's getting dark and everybody's gonna be worried about me. Where am I at, and so forth. But thank you. That was a good hour. Let's do it again. And
It's beautiful.
if you want to bring Dennis in and so forth, let's do that. But I mean, basically continuing with the tribal me and continuing to practice, and he's just boring the hell out of me though. I'm so bored with this band.
Well, maybe Raphael will come in a few days and we'll do it that way. But let's wrap up the show though. Let's thank everybody.
I want to build Raphael a band, but he's it's a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap up here though. Let's wrap up here though, because we're live, and then we'll talk
And now we're
afterwards.
talking about other people, of course.
Yeah. So let's say thank you everybody for.
You just broke a fucking 10 rules, but that makes So here we are. Before we get too far away, we have to do this thing. We have to forgive ourselves for not being perfect. And then I gotta love myself for not being perfect, and I gotta forgive you for not being the exact person I need you to be. But pretty darn close, Renee. It's hard. It's hard to beat your action. So.
Yeah.
And I love you. And then I love you all
Love you
too. So keep coming back. It works if you work it. And I'll see you next time on One Whole Earth.
Earth.
It's just